Hey, this is Luke with Saltstrong. In this video, we're going to talk about boat positioning if you don't have a trolling motor. We do have a trolling motor on this trip. However, I forgot to charge the trolling motor battery, so now we don't have a trolling motor. So we thought we've had this question come in, okay, how do I go after redfish and snook without a trolling motor? Trolling motor significantly helps. It's the #1 accessory to get if you're in between a trolling motor, power pole, whatever, everything else. Trolling motor is a game changer, but you can still catch fish without it. And so what we're going to do is I want to fish this island over here. We have early morning situation. I have top water ready. I have the bomber ready, even have the power prawn for the deeper water, but I want to get up there quietly. And the worst thing that I could do if I want to get up there is to immediately drive straight up the island and start casting. What I want to do, and what I recommend doing, is to get, I'm like 500 yards away, maybe 400. It's kind of a light wind. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to position myself so that I can have the wind take me to that island. And it's a light wind, so I'm going to kind of give myself a head start. So the wind's going basically this direction. So I'm going to angle the boat and point it towards the island, give a little kick start, and then let the wind do the rest of it. And that way I can quietly get up there. They're going to have no idea that I'm in the area. And by the time I get there, hopefully one will be ready to rock. So put it in gear, turn it off, literally turn it off, and now I'm just going to hop up front. I'm feeling top water today, so I'm going to hop up front and we're going to let the wind just take us up there. And if I see myself going off course one way or the other, right now I have the motor going directly in line with the boat. If I see myself where I need to go right or need to go left, I can just turn the motor without turning it on, but just turn the wheel and have the motor be the guide to kick me one direction or the other. You obviously can't do it, it can't go a super long way, but it'll actually be able to course correct really, really well. Another thing, I should have done this earlier, I also forgot the remote for the pole and the power pole. It's been a bad morning. But one tip for just preparing yourself is to have the power pole down so that when you do need to anchor, it just takes like 2 seconds. So I have it most of the way down, and now when I'm in need of actually securing the spot, now I can position myself, I can get into a spot where I can cover all sections of this island super quietly, and all I have to do is just tap that button, I'm ready to go. A lot of these newer power poles have it where you can tap twice and it goes all the way down automatically, some don't. So if you have one that doesn't, that's a game changer, but even if you do have an automatic one, it is nice to have it down and ready to go. So now it's time to fish. So we're sitting here yapping away and we're still not quite in the casting range, but we're getting pretty close. And so now we're going to start fishing this and let's see if we can catch something. I haven't fished this spot in probably like 6 months or so, if not longer. So no idea if there's even fish there. And what I'm seeing is I actually misjudged a little bit. So I'm going a little bit too far over to the left. So I'm going to get this wheel and I'm going to give it a nice hard right, and what you're going to do is you're going to see the boat start angling in. It's a lot easier if you have 2 people, but even one person in trying to talk coherently, you can still make it happen. You can see that boat is now starting to shift, right? If you look at the bow of it, it's starting to shift over there to the right. So we're doing a nice turn right there, and we didn't have to turn the motor on. We didn't have to make any noise. And again, just a small little tip like that goes a long way. And so if there are fish here, we have a really high chance of catching because we came here super quietly. We actually did it quieter than if you had a trolling motor. The only problem is that once we get there, we can't really move around without causing a lot of noise. So we're actually kind of going a little bit too far over. So let me go back and turn it one more time, and then we'll get ready to anchor. So I want to be able to cast at that other side as well. All right. So we're almost, I'll just stand right here so I can actually put the power pole down here pretty soon. But this is a good looking little area. And again, this is the best way to approach it, where usually the reds and snook will be right up close to the islands. In many cases, especially here in Tampa Bay, they're very, very spooky, and so if you don't go up to them quietly, you're not going to catch them. It's really as simple as that. If you go up with a big motor, they might not spook off, but they know danger's in the area and they're not going to eat. So time to put the power pole down to complete the positioning. Right, I just have to tap it, and it's in the ground. And now we are officially stopped right in the strike zone. Right, we had to do a little course correction, but I can easily cover this point. I can cast pretty much all the way over to that point too. We have a nice little wind helping us out. And this is a perfect position to catch some snook, redfish, and possibly even some big trout without having a trolling motor in a way that gets you there without them getting spooked. So quick little tip like that, I thought I'd share that video. A lot of questions that come in on how to catch, at least especially the big ones, because they're the ones that are most likely to spook off with noise. This is the best way to do it. Ideally, you have a trolling motor that works and the batteries are powered up. But if you don't, it's not the end of the world, because you can just drift in there, let the wind do the work. It just takes a little bit more time, but it certainly can pay off with some really big fish. All right, so I'm gonna stop this and try to catch myself a fish before the sun comes up too high. Hope this helps. Any questions at all, comment down below. And if you have any other boating tips that you'd like us to address, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you, and we'll add that to our boat collection. We actually have a series of boating tips. And so if you haven't yet seen those, I'll put a link down below so you can check them out. Thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you again soon.